Welcome to the Pro-Black Perspective, where black problems are addressed with black solutions. Your host tonight is the author of the Pro-Black Compendium and Zuberi and the Maroons of Ma'at, the Pan-African Nationalist, Oni. Oni, what are we discussing tonight?
Okay, same thing we're discussing not every night, but all right, fam, how you doing? Of course, this is Oni of the Pro-Black Perspective, and this week is another week. I forgot to fill out this portion, but don't worry, there's a handful of enemies of the week. We're going to go into quite a few. I'm going to sip my water. And before we get started, I want you to remember that this video is sponsored by no one, right? Nobody's sponsoring this. But I am a part of the KWAZ Radio Network, so I definitely want you to go like, subscribe, and, give your energy, time, and whatever you can afford to the other programs as well.
This is D Webb with the Harsh Reality Podcast, asking you to tune in where we tackle the news of the day that affects our community, only on KWAZ Radio.
Greetings, everyone. This is Koku from the Bitter Medicine Podcast, inviting you to tune in to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
Greetings, fam. Tune in to The Learning Curve with me, the Revolutionary Matron on KWAZ Radio.
You are listening to the Pro-Black Perspective on KWAZ Radio.
All right, fam. So Lero's out here. I don't know. Lero been saying some stuff on the TL just now, and I'm saying, fam, if you know what good vanilla is, just holler at Lero, I'm just messing with Lero. Anyway, but all right, fam. So we doing this today. I wanted to also remind everybody, don't forget about the t-shirts. Try to get a t-shirt for yourself. And maybe there was like one other thing, but when it comes to me, it comes to me. All right. Now, let's get started. So, were there any allies this week? Of course not. Right. Last one, of course, was Malema. Malema's good brother. So make sure y'all. I'm thinking this too. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Every one of us should be supporting at least two political candidates. Every one of us should be supporting at least two political candidates financially as well as, verbally. Just like back up somebody, Realistically, we should have our own political party where we kind of like sponsor our own political or like our own politicians, because you could run on two different political parties anyway, but like where we kind of vet and sponsor our own politicians. But I think two to three is enough, because I'm going to tell y'all, really, difference between white folk in power and black folk, really, is that white folk in power do support the political machines where they are or where they want it to be. Like, if we talk about this Ukrainian war at this moment, right, and I'm not even, I don't think anything here really relates to the Ukrainian war. Actually, no, there's one, right? But if we talk about the Ukrainian war and we're being realistic, this is the United Snakes, right? And, of course, the Kremlin, right? Both supporting political candidates and political uprisings and political resistance in Ukraine. You understand? Like at the end of the day, you have to support a political party. Now, of course, you're not going to have the same bank as the United Snakes. Okay? You're not going to have that same bank. But the reality is that even your little pennies, if you collect your little pennies together, that can make an impact on the African landscape, And because that can make an impact on the African landscape, I do encourage you to go out and really like support some sort of political endeavor. We're really not doing that. Like we could spend days talking with each other, among each other, debating and so on and so forth. And that's all well and good, but at some point you have to put your money where your mouth is. You have to put your money where your mouth is. And when you do that, that's going to really make the big difference. Anyway, so this is the BAN, and of course I give you guys a description. It's a bitch ass shut your mouth. I was only going to say nice people. Oh, we can dig it, right? Now this first one, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't cry, right? But I felt this one, and I'm going to say CIA would whoop you. And because it's an older, I'm going to preface this with saying that because I nearly cried, right? David says Rich woke. Because I nearly cried, I'm going to say that this week I'm the BAN. Because I nearly cried at this video. Okay? This video nearly made me cry, and I'm not going to call this older the BAN, although if you watch it, you might think so, but I nearly cried because, a lot of times when we growing up, we like, these CIA could employ these deep tactics to extract any kind of information they want, CIA, has all these sort of schemes, you can't resist it. CIA, FBI, the way that their interrogation skills are just incompatible. We have to go through deep training to counteract their interrogation skills, right? Now I'm gonna show you this video, all right? And they're gonna give you the preface. The preface is there's this guy who walks around, a black guy, right? Walks around and acts like he knows people. And then look how much information he can extract from this, okay? Just acting like he knows people.
But you know what though?
What, baby?
I thought that was you.
I thought you were you.
It is
Now,
me.
who do you think I am?
Oh my Lord. You act like you don't remember me.
Oh, my God. Where you been?
You act like you don't remember
Where
me.
you been?
Huh?
Where you been?
I've been around here. I'm staying in Greenville now.
I live in Greenville.
What?
I live right there in Bright Park Apartments.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir.
And you still looking good.
Oh, my God. Honey, that's the glory of God.
Hey!
Honey, when I met up with man, it was okay. But when I met up with Jesus, it was the best thing ever happened to me.
Good God almighty.
Yes,
And you
sir.
still got that pretty smile. You still cooking.
Whenever I'm able to,
To
I
God.
sure do.
Well, when can you make me a plate? Can you have me a plate after church Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Yeah, after church.
No, I ain't cook next Sunday now.
Oh, okay.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
No, I ain't cook tomorrow.
Okay, then.
I got to come down and do Sunday school and hear the preacher preach. I come to be fed tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
And look, and then they didn't even tell me I was going to be presiding today. I got drafted.
Well, you did a good job.
Well, thank you.
When I heard that voice and you preside, I said, I thought that was her.
This man.
You still looking good.
Thank you, sir.
Mother, what's your name?
I'm Ken Law.
I can never.
Ann.
I can pronounce that last name.
Nazetta. Don't nobody mess with that. That's why Pastor Mark just said Ken Law. I said, I know my name. I know who I am.
All right now. Well, it's good to see you. I love you so much.
Love you too.
And you keep on being great.
I am. You know my daughter, Tracy.
How Tracy doing?
She doing good.
Good.
You know, Tracy, my oldest daughter.
Get out of here.
And then Champ, my oldest son, Travis, and the baby girl is Shanika.
That's what it is.
She went down there running Kingdom Distributors.
Yeah. Well, I got to go. I love you.
I love you too.
God, you so sweet. Give me a hug.
All right, boo. God, I know you were blowing that voice when you got to singing.
To God be the glory.
Said, wait a minute, I know that voice. I turned around and looked. I said, I know that voice.
Now remember, this woman does not know this man. I tell you, look, man, I'm the BAN this week, right? Because the first time I saw it, I was finna cry. I'm not crying now. That's somebody just cutting onions around here. Now I'm just messing. I ain't even worried about it right now. But I forgot to read y'all the context. So this man just be walking up to strangers and pretend to know them, and this shit be having me dying every time. Okay, his name is TheBoy12. What I'm saying is this: Tracy Nazelle. That's her daughter's name. I don't know if Champ is a real name, but I think there was another name like Matt. I don't know what the other name was, but I wasn't really paying attention at this point. But the point is that she lists all her kids, full first name, last name, right? She tells you where she's going to be, what she's going to do, when she's going to do it. right? And she just volunteers the information. And you say to yourself, look, I'll be real with you, okay? I'll be real with you. This is not atypical, okay? This is not atypical. So I'm not going to call this woman a BAN. I can't do that, right? That's kind of rude. It's kind of disrespectful, right? I mean, it's probably rude and disrespectful to call anybody BAN, but you know, there's a limit, right? But yeah, this is not advanced interrogation tactics. This is not, a psyop. This is not, and you got to understand this, that if you're the people at war, intelligence is, I think it was, like I said, Maddox might have said, like, intelligence is I think he said propaganda is the first stage of warfare. Maybe intelligence too. Maybe it's like the second stage or something like that. But the point being that, it's just like, just rhetoric, right? But the point being that intelligence wins wars. And in fact, I think I don't know if I actually showed you guys, I don't know if I actually have this one recorded. I put it on Discord, but maybe I'll share you guys this clip too. This image when I find it on the Discord. Let me just open the Discord quick. This Discord make me going mad slow when I'm recorded though. But let me see what the next link is, and if it's not this Ukrainian thing, then I'm gonna hit y'all with this Discord link. Oh yeah. So this one's important too. I don't even remember. Oh yeah. So this one is just some white boy, and he's just gonna give you some context. So this is a white boy. Oh, okay, wow. Okay, so he called himself a mom, which is weird. Okay. All right, so he's a little weird, but he's a weird white boy, right? Which is, all right, just a white boy. I said it before, right? He says, hi, Josh. I've heard back from so-and-so, and unfortunately, they will not be moving forward with your candidacy for the so-and-so role. While you did have a lot of the skills they were looking for, they have concerns about the way you present yourself online. They came across a post in which you said you wanted to burn down Whole Foods, and other posts that they said are against their social media policy. I'm sorry that this has happened, as I did not know that they were reviewing candidates' social media prior to setting up interviews. Something to keep in mind through moving forward, is it does seem like something more employers are doing these days, just as an FYI. If another role comes up you would be suitable for, I will absolutely reach out. Thanks. And see, the reason why I said this is this, right? I don't be giving out, like, I don't connect my social with my, I try to avoid, just, like, I don't even I usually, like, for a long time, I don't even put my face out there, honestly. Because, social media, you can say whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like this white boy's talking about he want to burn down Whole Foods. He probably don't really want to burn down Whole Foods, right? But at the same time, what I'm saying is that you got snitches everywhere. And for the most part, you snitching on yourself. And and on the other hand, too, it's like this. A lot of people don't even know, like a lot of our people are not disciplined to the point where you can trust them with valuable information, right? So, as Lero points out in the chat, this sister said where she lived, name the apartments, and all that kind of stuff. Now, all you need to do is know that she's my cook. Know that she's my chef. Is everything blurry for the... Wait, hold on a second. Let me see something. I don't know if y'all got, like, a blurry feed. But I'm looking at this feed in the corner. It looks like it's blurry. But what I'm saying is that all you got to know is that she's my chef. Once you know that she's my chef, she will tell you everything you need to know about me. You understand? Once you know that she's my chef, she will tell you everything you need to know about me without even knowing she did something wrong. And that's something that's common among African people. No, not just African people. That's something common among people. And because it's common among people, we have to, you as an African nationalist, you have to take that into account in how you move forward. Sometimes, like I said, I usually I don't use, I try not to give out too much personal information in my private life. You know what I mean? To the point where, even my neighbors don't know me. You know what I'm saying? I try not to do that. I try not to mix up my private and public life, if you will, right? This is another video. This is just, the reason why I didn't say it was only black folk is because, white folk do it too. So these idiots, goosebumps, glory to Ukraine. So basically these Ukrainians are hiding out in a bunker, okay? Hiding out in a bunker, and then they decide to post a video on, they shared a video of, I guess, this guy playing, violin. I don't know, right? But they're playing violin. A day later, the Russians bomb them as they're hiding in a bunker, right? So you see it says Reddit got another Ukrainian squad killed. Official Reddit killed more people than 4chan. Officially, Reddit killed more people than 4chan. All right. So I guess they're competing. I don't know. But it says beautifully, simply beautiful, like Quentin Tarantino film in front of us. Wow, gave me shiver. And then it says moving, but isn't this the kind of video that can be used to locate Ukrainian troops? So this guy is like, how can it, right? And of course, the people die, right? It's like, looks like a barracks. Also, people can locate you based on sound alone. You can put audio on a spectrogram and analyze background noise by isolating frequencies. Maybe there's animal sounds, train sounds, helicopters, or plane sounds can be detected and located. For example, this video here skips to around 4:46, and you can see what I'm talking about. You can get so much things from background noise alone. Dude, you've been watching too much CSI. A barracks like this was blown up just yesterday. This barracks was confirmed destroyed in a massive early morning airstrike a day after this video went up online. The geolocation data in this video directly pinpointed the exact location of this base. It's very likely that everyone in this video was killed, and there's a good chance that the video got them killed. Yes, and those guys are all dead now, I believe. They bombed another barracks. Wonder if the people got shelled like the other one that got posted on Reddit. No location is mentioned here. This is by the way, this S means that this is the original poster, see? He's just like, oh, look, how can it? No location was mentioned here, right? It's like, many other ways of finding locations, tons of them, actually most days, can be traced to its origin point once pointed. Not sure if it's true, but, and they show an image. Why are they letting people have their phones? They need to be confiscated at the border. Sadly, it did pics on 4chan. We did it yet again, Reddit, right? Anyway, point is that, now, of course, this makes a lot of sense. This is why, I don't necessarily do the soundproofing on my windows when I'm podcasting, but technically, I'm mindful of the reality that, look, you send a fire truck, then you send a police van, then you send a garbage truck or something like that, right? If all three of those noises show up on one audio feed, right? The reality is this, that using, the way how sound travels at a certain speed, right? Using that speed, you can calculate how far the vehicles were. Okay? Using that speed, you could calculate how far the vehicles were. Now, I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe it is this number, but I think it's sound travels at 330 meters per second, right? I could look it up, but yeah. I mean, should I? See, my thing is that I don't like Googling right in front of everybody. So let me see if let me just Google it in a separate window. Sound speed, and even that, Googling in a separate window and telling you guys the timestamp where I'm gonna Google in a second window, which or even type it, is giving off information, because as long as you have a timestamp for something, right? You could say, okay, which computer Googled sound speed at this timestamp? You understand? Same with this, like I said, the sound. You'll know that there's a radial area where you heard that sound 330 meters per second ago. I don't know what the speed is, so I don't want to Google it now that I just said it. I said I was going to, right? But now you hear the fire truck 2 minutes later, and you also hear the police van 2 minutes later. Now as the city, where the police vans are at all times, right? Where, so on and so forth. What I'm saying is this, that you can now isolate a certain number of locations that will fit that description of where these things were happening based off of just the timestamp and, of course, the speed of sound, right? And then when you do that, you might not just get one location. I mean, unless it's like a series of unusual events, airplane, this, that, so on and so forth, all in the same, time frame, right? But here's the thing: if you're podcasting every day or every week or just more than once, whatever, these sort of areas that they could be start isolating themselves. You understand? And so what I do sometimes is, like I said, when I used to meet with people and we used to talk some real talk, right? I would tell them, look, either leave your phone in the car or turn it off or like take the battery out. You know? Now, some people, a little paranoid and say, well, the phone can still pick up stuff when it has no battery in it. Unlikely. But, but even if it could, like I said, take the phone, take the battery out, leave it in the car, and, go a distance from it and just have your little conversation. But the reality is that the way how we act, right? The way how we act, or the way how, and I'm not going to just say we, because like I said, this is a whole Ukrainian military that got, everybody killed, right? So it's not like it's just black folk, right? But the way how people act is that, hey, you know what? These devices are not tracking devices. When like, and I'm not going to say their primary purpose is to track you, but they're obviously tracking devices. And I actually I got a shout out to my father, my baba. When I was a youngin, he would pay cash at the toll site. And I mean, he's not a paranoid guy as far as I can tell. But he said, I'm not gonna use that I can't remember the name of the thing. Easy Pass. I'm not gonna use Easy Pass. That's the thing that they use because he was, should I even say? You know what I'm saying? But he was he was using Easy Pass. But again, like I said, you give too much information, people get more. Like, the more information people have, the more they can track you. But anyway, he was like, yeah, use this Easy Pass, and it reads where you are, and you're just telling people where you are. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, it's easier. Like a cell phone is easier than a payphone. And a cell phone is easier than, like if you play games on your phone, it's easier than bringing around, your PS5 or something. Or your Game Boy, or what have you. But yeah, yeah. So this is what I'm saying. So, but going back to this lady, who I'm not going to call the BAN, but this lady, and I'm gonna add this. Actually, I'm gonna add this to the list. Yeah, she done like the dude, the black brother, just walked up to her and started a conversation, and she just gave away everything. Gave away her address, her home, apartment, right? Which, again, if people really had, like, if you had information people really wanted, they would then get it from you. Because, if she just said casually, oh, I feed that boy Oni. He a good speaker, and he hiding out in the basement, but, don't go tell nobody, right? Stupid shit like that, right? It's like, if this was not, like, just a guy, having a laugh on thing, but if he was, like, a real agent, right? He'd be like, oh, really? For real? And he would just follow her. Or he would say, oh, so what do you make for him? She's like, oh, I cook him some mac and cheese. That's his favorite. So I cook him some mac and cheese. And then, I just leave it on the, and, she's like, and he's like, well, I can help you out, And, it's been a long time since I helped you out. You know how it is. And she's like, oh, yeah, you used to be so helpful. Some dumb shit like that. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not finna call this lady this word, but yeah. Oh, Kobe says I don't believe the Redditors. I mean, it's possible. But the thing is this: there is this video of these brothers in. Well, I shouldn't say brothers, honestly. There's this video of these black men in I think Namibia or something, and then they execute these black women and their babies on camera, right? And then using the background data, like the background data as in like how the buildings, the outline of the buildings in the background, right? Using that and, Google Maps history, right? So you see that there was a building, like you see that there used to be a building here, that there's no longer a building in 2017, or there used to be 2 buildings and now there's 1, or now there's 3 or whatever. But using that and the date it was posted, right? They were able to find the soldiers. Not just that. I think they also, you could tell from their uniform, like they were possibly. I think actually they might have been Cameroon, but like the point is that you could find where they killed the women and children, as well as what rank they were, based off of their uniform obviously the language they spoke and all that kind of stuff, and like who they were. They found out who the people were, and they were able to, arrest them, I guess. But the point is that, realistically speaking, videos, like, here's the thing I want to say. Everyone is observing the data. Everyone is, like, there's tons of data being released. Everyone's observing it. But more so when you're at war. You know what I mean? And when I mean, like, at war, I don't mean, like, when black folks say they're at war and they just, like, sit by and, take it. I mean, like, Russia invaded Ukraine and they're looking to kill these people. You know what I mean? And so the soldiers are reporting noises. If they're well disciplined, they're saying, hey, I saw a deer on my patrol today, or a couple of deers, or I saw a bird, a couple of blue jays, very loud blue jays. And if they're reporting this data somewhere, somebody else is recording this, and then when they get these sort of videos that circulate, they're coming through the internet or whatever, when they get these kind of videos, they then can compare it to different spectrographs or different observations made by their soldiers, right? Or even recordings made by their soldiers, because again, if you're a soldier, you might have a microphone set up, right? And then it's like, hey, the soldier's like, oh, I reporting, I heard a blue jay, but you also hear the blue jay in the background of the soldier, right? And so again, you do the I want to say spectrograph, right? Or, spectrograph, I don't know, whatever, right? If like you can isolate the location of the bird based off of, two different observers, listening to them listen to the bird at two different locations, right? Because what happens is that the radius is fixed, yeah, I mean, like the radius is fixed. Basically, if you hear a sound from one location, from let's say you're on location A, if you hear a sound from location A, then whatever you heard is 330, meters per second, like the speed of sound away. And then if somebody else hears it from location B, then they're also 330 meters away, right? And so then, I think there's maybe there's like two locations where either two or one, I don't know, 1, 2, or 3. There's very limited locations where you can be, where one thing can be so far from two different objects, I mean, I'd have to like do the math. Maybe like two. It's like basically you would draw a circle around one and draw a circle around the other, and the two circles will intersect at two locations. You get what I'm saying? They'll intersect at two locations. So if you had a third person, like a third observer, then the three circles, I'm thinking would like intersect at one location, right? But anyway, it's just like some stupid math. But the point being that, one, you could have computers do it, and two, yeah, I mean, like you don't even need a computer to do it. You can just do it by hand, So, it could be made up by these Redditors, but the thing is that it's not a real practice, and that's why I say, like I said, it's better safe than sorry, It's better safe than sorry. I think somebody, I just closed it. Yeah, EL says triangulation. Yeah, so I would probably say triangulation. Yeah, just do the math. Anyway, so this is somebody says, but I have the cash. I wonder. Oh yeah, so this is just like, I mean, I'm telling you, we're like, particularly in the U.S., we're in a precarious situation. This freaking idiot. So some woman, McKinney, effing Texas, right? So here's this woman. She goes into the store, right? And then here's what she finds.
Do you know about that hour? There is a problem. So now, girls, he said, how much is it?
600.
600 is a scammer, and there is a looks like even
it's
I don't
fake.
know. I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. So basically, what happens in this video? Okay, I think she might have described it. Okay, I'm now cautious to record, but to slide down. Oh, this is Fresno, Cali, I think. Gotta watch out for these scam devices. Put them on ATM machines too. So basically, Dang, everybody's finding this thing. I think she described what it was that she was looking at, but I guess it's probably more common than a lot of us know. Yeah, she gives a background information. Maybe it might be like a post that she put up. But basically, what happens with this lady is that she purchases something from this store, right? And then she goes about her business, right? Later on, she's getting charges from all over Texas from her card. And so, she's smart enough to remember the last place she used her card. So she comes here and she confronts them and she realizes, oh, they put this on. Now she and maybe the police are talking about it might be an inside job. Yeah, I can't scroll through. See, I'm saying you can't scroll through people's stuff on live or you're going to get canceled. All right, never mind. You're going to get canceled worse. So anyway, let me just not do that. But yeah. So what I'm saying is this. Essentially, she or the police or whatever decide that HTML for the sauce threads if needed. What's HTML? Oh, hit my link? What is that? Kofi says Indians go hard with the scamming. Yeah, but like what she says is basically this, right? The police and her decide it's probably an inside job. That the people at the store put this thing onto their machine, right? So that they could scam scam people who are buying from them, right? And so the reason why I says, but I have the cash, is because, we have to be realistic with just the limitations of being in a land where you don't have real political control. Being in a land where you don't have real political control is that the people who are going to exercise consequences on these Indians, unless you do it yourself, right? And do time for that, more than likely, right? Is the West, or the power structure itself, right? And so what you want is a power structure that is your advocate. And that's why I say that, every one of us should be supporting some sort of political movement, if not locally, then, internationally, right? Because again, even if you have money, right? The reality is this, that the people who are giving you the goods and services that your money is used to acquire can also turn around and steal from you. Can also turn around and deny you service. Now, obviously, they can't, you could say, well, they can't do that for long because, if they deny me service and they rely on me to keep in business, then they're going to lose their business. And that's a circumstance that we have to realize that in America, there's a history of white folks saying, you know what? Yeah, I'll deny a black person service. There's a history of that. There's a history of saying to yourself, you know what? I believe in something more important. There's a history. In fact, there was actually a Supreme Court case the other day, maybe a few years back, where people were like, I'm not even going to make a gay cake. I'm not going to make a gay wedding cake. I don't give a shit. I have good business elsewhere. And a lot of business owners are saying I have good business elsewhere. Now, would they eliminate a whole race, especially in this cancel culture? Possibly not. But again, I say possibly because the tone is going to change and shift all the time. I told you, I don't know if I told you guys about this, but I went to, I decided, look, I'm going to get some vodka, because I'm going to get some Russian vodka because, you know what? I like what they're doing in Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I go to this black-owned business, a black-owned bar, black-owned liquor store. Because I've never been to a liquor store, right? I've never been to a liquor store, but I've been told that I need to start going to liquor stores, apparently, right? Anyway, so I decided I'm going to go to this liquor store and support this black business, but I'm going to get me some Russian vodka, right? I ask around, I say, hey, can I get some vodka? And I'm like, which one of these is made in Russia, right? Now, the black, so basically it's a sister behind the counter. And see, even when I say sister and black, like I said, I'm giving away too much information. But anyway, the brother who might be the owner possibly, he comes up to me and he's overhearing my conversation about Russia. Now, I don't know if he thinks that I'm like some sort of American agent that's like, you better not be supporting Ukraine or whatever. You better not be supporting Russia, right? But he comes to me emphatically like, oh, we don't got nothing Russian here. Nothing, no Russia at all. No Russian product, right? And so, I mean, maybe possibly he was under the impression, like, again, like, black folks scared of white folk, or black folks scared of, and, like, it's like that video of the sister, getting interrogated by somebody. Like, maybe he was on the resistance for that, but part of me is also thinking this dude was just super cooning. He was just super cooning. He was just, and the thing is that's, like, we do say, hey, online, you have all these stupid conversations, and it got nothing to do with us. But, like, the real black folk, some of the real black folk are really into the American propaganda, whatever it may be. And it's not just, like, I wouldn't just say it's African Americans either. Because, like I said, I had an uncle who eventually, and uncle is in, like, he's not that much older than me, right? But who eventually volunteered for the U.S. military. And he hated Arabs after that. Didn't make any sense. Not even after that, but, like, during through the training. So it's not like you have to be quote unquote African American, but that is if you don't consider him African American. But yeah, like, there's something here in the water where people will just go with the American program, right? But I say all this to say that we could say, hey, you know what? Nobody would exclude a race or whatever, but then they exclude Russia. Now just imagine this now, right? If they could turn against Russia, a white nation, so quickly, right? If they can turn against a white nation so quickly and so completely, why are you so convinced that they wouldn't turn against you, especially if you were serious about revolution? I mean, I'll say it this way. Y'all do not think that Assata Shakur was snitched on by other African Americans? When Assata Shakur had her, like, the police put up her billboard or whatever, poster, her wanted poster, all over the city. You think nobody said, "Oh yeah, we gonna call that number"? You think no black person said, "We're gonna call that number and report Assata Shakur for being a criminal or for murdering whomever"? Right? Not that she did, but that's what they were accusing her of. We got to be real. We have to be real. El says Russia learned that in the past, and they are better prepared to handle sanctions that deny them access to Western financial infrastructure. Yeah. By the way, Lero, you didn't say what HML is, but I will say that this whole document is there in the description. So you could just click on the document as you see it. Kobe says, LOL. Lero says, they'll accuse you of going up for Russia, but will tap dance for Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, like, and it's like Ukraine of all the countries, and it's just really just parroting America. Now, I could understand if he was afraid of America, and he's just like, I don't know what this, like, if he really had like a secret, stash in the back, maybe, and he just didn't know who I was. But I highly doubt it. The way how he was talking, it was like he was more or less like, get out of my store, you Russian sympathizer. You know what I'm saying? like he was like, I'm saying, like, I mean, I was finna but I was like, let me just get this stupid vodka. I got some Swedish vodka. I was like, whatever, fuck it. All right, I went out for vodka. I'll get vodka. But yeah, people will deny you business. People will deny you business, and of course, I don't know if y'all saw. Actually, I think I might link it later. But Biden is talking about food shortages coming in America. So again, I think it was some of y'all favorite scholar, Amos Wilson, who was pointing out to y'all, well, when there's a food shortage, they're not reaching out to you. You know what I mean? Like, they're not like you're gonna be in the back of the line when a food shortage happens. And you saw this in Ukraine when it was like we are planning an escape, and these Negroes are gonna be in the back of the line. Like, and that's just like, you might be like, ew, how are they doing that in Ukraine? They're going to do the same shit in America, because believe me, when they're packing these buses to leave, let's say New York or whatever, right? Or these buses to leave, whatever city you're in, right? When they're packing those buses, they're not going to let you in before they're going to let in the white folk they know. And that's just common damn sense. If you got to go on the same bus as them, then, you shit out of luck. You're going to be waiting, or you're going to walk. Just like them people in Ukraine learned. And I mean, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm talking to you like I'm talking to you. I'm being serious. If you do not have some sort of plan, some sort of alternative, you're probably going to end up walking for hours with your kids, or by yourself, or in a group, and it's not going to be a safe trip. It's not going to be a safe trip because people are going to wait, and it could be your own people, it could be their people. They're going to wait for you to be walking by yourself so that they could take whatever you have. And I'm not playing with you. I'm letting you know. Like things are going to be real. If this stuff happens to you, it's going to be real. It was real for the people in Ukraine. A lot of them survived, sure. But, you only hear from the ones that survived. That's all you hear from. But, I'm not even going to say don't listen to me. Listen to me. All right. So anyway, look at this. This is, we're going to change the law head answer. So that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all be like, why are you upset with us for engaging these reparationists, quote unquote, these so-called reparationists, right? Like, because I told y'all, like, these people are so irrelevant. And then, I would hear people argue with me. Hit my line. Okay. Elero says HTML means hit my line. I got the link. I'll put the link, I guess. But so many people are going to tell me, why don't you listen to these reparationists? They have a valid point. They have good reasoning. You should support their movement, so on and so forth. Right? And I'm like, but it's because they're politically, because they're not politically organizing, and they are politically, irrelevant. Right? That, Biden doesn't lose sleep trying to satisfy their whims. He doesn't care. Right? Nobody cares about this little internet group, but nobody listens to me, and y'all. And I'll tell you, man, even to this day, a lot of otherwise bright minds in the quote unquote movement are just daily engaging these people, daily rebuttal, counter rebuttal. It's like, look, if you want to troll somebody occasionally, that's fine, but if you want to just make it your part of your identity is to be their counter identity. Like, you're not going to move forward as a people because these people are held back in a sense. And it's kind of like, actually, I'll say it this way. I think it was Booker T. Washington who said it, right? Booker T. Washington said, you can't hold a man in a ditch without also being in the ditch with him, right? So in principle, you might be like, hey, I don't want these reparationists to get loose, so I'm going to hold them back. I'm going to hold them down. Right? I'm going to hold them down. I'm going to keep them back from being loose. But it's like, now you in a ditch with them. And the thing is that people who are engaging you because they thought, hey, you know what? You got some brightness to you. Right? Now they are seeing this ditch and they're like, you know what? Like, you're now again, like, if you were saying to yourself, if you're saying to yourself, we should, like, if you're saying to yourself, like, I don't know. I mean, like I said, occasionally, you can go, you can see them, you can troll them, whatever, right? Or you could even, like, highlight them in a reel or something like that. But I'm telling you, there's some people who just daily, it's just daily. And it's like, stop. It's not as informative as you think to say for the, for a full month, we are from Africa. Like, yes, everybody knows this. The only people who don't know this are not really relevant. And I mean, even they know it. They know it, and they're just saying, we don't agree with that. And I mean, I get it. Like, there's some personalities are pretty big, notwithstanding, putting out that kind of misinformation. And maybe if you're targeting only those people, that would make a little more sense. But, like, going after everybody, like, anybody could just wake up and be like, yeah, we not even. And I mean, it's just like, at this point, like, I had to mute this one sister. She was pretty cool, but then she just, like, every time I'd be on Twitter, she would just be like she'd be in, like, a voice chat or something. Like, she'd be in a chat room or something like that. And then it's like secure the tribe or some shit like that. Like and it's like, I don't know if she's against it. I don't know if she's for it. But like, and like when I went into one of those rooms, because I sometimes, like I said, you could go in it like occasionally. One of the sisters that was there was just like calling, like she was like, I'm gonna call African people African booty scratchers. I don't give a fuck. They're African booty scratchers, right? And I was just like, what? But then she was like a co-host in this other room this lady joined. Now, like, why? Like, at some point you have to say to yourself, all right. Anyway, sound like I'm bitching, right? Sorry, man. I got the BAN for this. Like I said. All right. So anyway, so U.S. to welcome 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. No camps set up at the border. No talk about assimilation or they're going to take jobs. No fear about neo-Nazi elements, Ukrainians, gangs, or drug dealers. When it's white people, the conversation is different. Now, here's this idiot, right? I want to say the reason why I say this is an idiot because he was one of the voices. Actually, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who this person is. Kofi just said. Kofi just pointed out that this guy is mixed race, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about later, right? So I believe Professor Black is mixed race. He says white decides who is black. I agree. We should ignore them, right? Lero says the only thing is they be trying to speak for us African Americans, but you're right though. I be leaving them alone. Yeah, I mean they can speak for themselves. You know, it ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing. But like yeah, like and here's this guy. So if he's even mixed race, and I want to talk about that a little later because we weird when it comes to mixed race. Like we're really weird when it comes to mixed race. But I think I might have put a comment to this, so I'm gonna see if I can find my comment. I don't know. Oh yeah. So I said, look, 100,000 is so basically the rumor is, or what's going through the machine is that there was 1 million COVID deaths in the U.S. So I pointed out 100,000 is 1/10 of the U.S. COVID deaths, right? Many of them dead were African Americans, right? You and your ilk are clowns for wasting 4 years whining about an identity as your people died and you'll be replaced by neo-Nazi whites. Close immigration, you said. Dumbass, right? The thing is this. The United Snakes, if you will, right? And I should probably stop saying United Snakes. Yo, I'm going to tell y'all this, y'all. Real talk. I saw this video of these quote-unquote conscious black folk. And the way how they kept saying overstand, it was like, like, why are you saying overstand? So I might just stop United Snakes just so I don't sound like them, right? But anyway, here's my thing. If you, and actually, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna preface this. I'm actually not gonna go on to the slander, real talk, because I think our people are just a little too confused when it comes to, like this mixed race issue. And I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna say something I shouldn't, but I'm gonna still be like, you know, like y'all just way confused. Like I said, why is Professor Black truth? If he's mixed race, why is he Professor Black's truth? It don't make no damn sense. Like the way how black folk in America, particularly America, right, deal with race is like really, 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 really dumb. You know, like just so dumb that it's just like it doesn't even make any sense. Like it doesn't, like it's like you can't defend it. The way how it's like honestly, the way how that like race works is that it's like who can say the N-word, kind of. It's like it's really corny. Yeah. Oh, Kofi says overstand is Rasta talk. Yeah. After that, you know, that the quote unquote, you know, royalty in England visited and the Rasta sitting around. Cause like I said, man, here in Brooklyn, man, if you see a Rasta, you see a white woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like you see him with a white woman. It's just mad weird. I'm just not even like if it's Rasta talk, I'm definitely taking it out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Lero says let me see. I'm gonna catch up with the comments. Kofi says he is pro-America as well. He made fun of the Haitians at the border. Exactly. So he's like I tell you, this ilk, this group is talking about they're gonna close immigration. Then you're like, why are you against black immigration? They're like, no, we're against white immigration too. Now, if you could close immigration, why in the world are 100,000 Ukrainians coming in? You know? Kofi said, look at Yvette. All she had to do is a black accent and black folk fall for it. All the time. It's just weird. I mean, like, it's really weird. I'm about to go into that because it's just so weird. And it's like, look, I tend to agree with the, you know, well, that's not a black person, right? You know, that's clearly a white person. Like a lot of mixed people, you'd be like, yeah, you could call them white, right? But because America's so stupid on race, and because black folk are so stupid on race, that it's like you're going to be replaced right in front of your face. You know, like you're going to be replaced in the public sphere, right in front of your face. You know, like I said, there's two populations of black folk, right? There are black folk in the hood and black folk out of the hood, right? The black folk in the hood are probably going to keep their complexion. They're probably going to keep their natural African complexion, because the reality is that like I'm not saying white people don't go into the hood to look for, to scout out black folk to get, but it's at a less likely rate. Basically, black folk are a majority in the hood, right? But then outside of the hood, right? Black folk are a super minority, right? And so dating options are now much more limited. You get what I'm saying? And then, of course, I think I don't know if I'm going to talk about it later. I think I plan to talk about it later. But I realized, too, when you're dealing with, like, personalities, there's a lot of issues in the personalities of both groups. You know, whether you're in the hood or whether you're outside the hood. But, you know, it's always going to be recipe for disaster. Maybe, I think I'm supposed to talk about that a little later. So, I'm a thing. They got on me because I didn't know Colin Powell was black. Like, have you seen that, man? Yeah, a lot of, it's really different. Like, it's really different. I'm gonna say, like, I'm gonna show an example of a woman that does not look black, but claims that she's black because she's mixed. And the thing is this: the issue is this, that a lot of times you're going to have mixed black people who are saying they're black, right? And then when they have kids, right, their kids are also, like, their kids clearly see their parents as black, right? Because, you know, like, the parent is black, right? By the American standard. And what that does is then the child who is like now a quadroon thinks they're black. You get what I'm saying? And see, if, you know, I think somebody actually posted up a link on that. So maybe I'll touch on that later. There's this video circulating of these, I think Kofi showed it to me, or showed it to us in the thing. There's this video of these quote unquote black youth asking these white folk about whether they have any black friends. And like I said, in this video, the thing about it is that white folk are looking at the video and saying, those black folk aren't even black. You get what I'm saying? But here's the thing, though, is that most of us look at them like they're black. Like I said, like for instance, Obama is considered black, and he looks like a black person. But that's because what happens in America is this, you know, this quote unquote middle class, quote unquote paper bag, this quote unquote all that kind of stuff. Because that happened, you know, to most people, Obama looks black in America. Now, of course, if he went to Kenya, they would not think he was black. You know? But then again, if you go to Kenya, a lot of people will think, where the fuck are you from? Like, where are you from? You do not look, you know, if you will, like Luo or something. You know? Because you wouldn't look Luo. You would look like quote unquote, you look like an African American. You get what I'm saying? So you look black, but, you know, so on and so forth, you know? And then, of course, like, you might, like I said, if you go to some parts of the hood, you might see that deep black, that person that could look like they're Igbo, like they're Luo or Igbo or Ashanti, right? But again, that's like if they were isolated from the general population. But again, if you're in the middle class or you're in the, you know, upper echelon, so that's partly also why you see a lot of black folk, you know, who are popular, you know, are popularized, are mixed or look like they're of mixed descent. Anyway, or don't look like some pure African tribes person like you would expect. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's look at the comments real quickly. Biracials are now on Whitey saying black folk won't have anything when they leave them. They call it the golden sphere. I saw this coming from last year. Mixed folk find one beady bead in their kitchen, and now they are the spokespersons on blackness. No, but see, the thing is that black people don't speak well enough to be the spokesperson themselves, unfortunately. Because if they did, they wouldn't. Like, I'm telling you, you're going to see this example where it's like you literally letting these other people speak for you. Like Professor Black Chew comes through, right? Whole mixed race. Yvette Carnell, a whole, whatever. And you don't really discriminate as long as they saying the right thing. And it's not like this. The thing is, it's not like they even saying the right thing. But because you don't know right from wrong, you saying, oh yeah, they saying the right thing. As long as they say, black is beautiful. You like, shit, that's a black person if I ever saw one. Queen. Dumb shit like that. But anyway, so why did I bring this up? Oh yeah, like I said, these guys are talking about, oh well, we're gonna close the borders. Psych. They didn't close shit. And it's like you wasted everybody's time. 4 years doing nothing. Collecting money, actually. Right? 4 years hustling your own people. While your people died during the pandemic. Right? And while you did this, you turn around and what do you get for it? 100,000 Ukrainians to replace your dumbass. So now you got the white population getting whiter. And that's the thing I liked about, well, not liked, but that's the thing I observed with regard to that video of the kids asking the other people how many white friends they had. Because when you look at the white folk in that video, right, they are pure whites. You know what I mean? Like maybe you could be picky and say that they look a little bit, like they have a little bit of a tan to them, right? But otherwise, they are pure whites, like Hitler would like them. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when you look at the black folk, like I'm not gonna hold y'all. These black women, like the black people were kind of homely, if nothing else. So anyway, there's 3 past me's this week. So let's look at the past me's. And I think when we were talking about, oh yeah, this shit right here. Let me see. This most likely there's a private Discord. Oh yeah. So these are the past me's. Now look at this. I want to say this right here. I'm tired of this. Look, we're gonna do some like I'm gonna be a little bit of a bully right now. I'm gonna say this, man. There's this whale. Ain't no one calling this whale no chocolate. Maybe she ate the chocolate, but ain't nobody calling her chocolate. And the thing is this, like here's the thing I'm pissed off about this video. First off, this image. First off, this woman is not one of those women you call chocolate. Second of all, she's not even dark skinned, and that's a thing that happens in America too. Like sometimes, and other people, like people from Africa sometimes talk about this too, where they're just like, a black person would call themselves dark skinned, and then be like, yeah, and then people from Africa be like, how are you dark skinned? Like for instance, for me, I don't call myself dark skinned, right? Now in America, I'm dark skinned, but in Africa, I'm probably, I don't want to say I'm light skinned, but I might actually be on the lighter side. Okay? This woman is not dark skinned. Nor is she like somebody you gonna look at and be like, oh, my chocolate, right? But she going at it. This woman. And it's not even like, I mean, maybe in some dimension, somebody out there might be like, well, this is not even like, no. Like, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I mean, of course, you have a right to be big if you wish to be. But this sort of, like, but look at this past me. Like, I normally wouldn't care. I don't mind me a big girl. I don't mind me a small girl. I'm not even, like, whatever. What I'm telling you is that you got to pass this. Why? Because this is 8:25 p.m., March 23rd. So this is the middle of, let me see, actually, what day was March 23rd? Let me check that out. March 23rd is a Wednesday night. On a Wednesday night, she just decides to start some sort of, like, to back up some sort of colorist thing that got nothing to do with her. Why do y'all get so offended when dark-skinned women say they don't want to be referred to as food? You're not even in that conversation. Like, if you are, like, first off, that conversation is, like, between, person A and person B. If, like, for me personally, I don't refer to women as confectionery or as food or anything like that, right? Like, the reason why I saw this post, look at this. I'll tell you, you can't scroll or people are going to be wilding, right? The reason why I saw this post because this guy said, not food, but a female dog is okay. So I like that. But either way, it's like, what does it got to do with you? Like, nobody's calling you dark chocolate, 1, or chocolate, 2. And first, now, what I mean is that you're not a dark-skinned woman. Second of all, like this is like something that people say to, women that they're attracted to. Like, if anything, and I mean, like, let's be real, like the thing, like the food comparisons, like, go both ways, and it's really just between your partner and you. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not gonna say there were women who said that they wanted to taste me and taste some chocolate. I ain't gonna say that ain't happened. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, am I going to just make a random post on it just to start some shit so I could like promote my line and like, this is like a real, like, this is not even a real issue, and it's not even an issue for you. You know what I mean? And like I said, I mean, I don't think it's right to make fun of bigger people, right? I don't think it's right to make fun of bigger people, but like, at some point, you know damn well ain't nobody referred to you as no food. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody talking about food near you. Yeah. I'm just bullying. All right. Anyway, let's see. Mr. Untouchable. Mr. Untouchable says, he says 100K Ukrainians, but F those black Caribbeans and Africans, shaking my damn head. You know how it is. Kofi says that girl is browning, right? Lero's on some weird shit, as usual. Talking about abolished chocolate. I don't know where she get this stuff from. Like, yo, that's what I'm saying about we gotta have like political representation, because like Lero be posting Lero. I like Lero. Y'all know I like Lero. But yo, she was like, let's ban chocolate. Like, that's the first thing we're gonna do when we're independent. And it's like, that doesn't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make no damn sense anywhere. But anyway, we gonna leave that alone. I think she's joking though. She's joking, hopefully. All right, Mr. Untouchable says Wu-Tang wasn't even singing about her. That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody was talking about this lady. Nobody. And then it's 8:30 on a Wednesday evening. Everybody just sitting by, minding their business. And then it's just a whole other, here, let's do some colorism argument again. Like, I'm telling you, the way how white folk, the reason why I brought this up is that the way how white folk look through the social media of people they want to employ, you have to understand that when you are bonding with somebody, you should look through their social media too. Because if you're going to let yourself into the... actually, this wasn't the video. The other video, this is another video I put up. I said it might be fake and all that kind of stuff, right? By the way, let me hand this to Lara. Lara said she wanted this document. So let me give it to... Let me just post it to Lara. Her weird social media. Her weird social media too, right? Anyway. But what I'm saying is this, right? All right, so anyway, let's just keep reading. It's a compliment. And they're not flattered by which is the point of a compliment. It's calling a dark-skinned woman chocolate the only way you know how to compliment them. I think the point is most every compliment they receive be related back to their skin complexion. When you really unpack the pushback, it sounds like be thankful for complimenting you in the first place. Extremely telling that the compliment is less about dark-skinned women and more about y'all trying to overcompensate to hide your internalized colorism. Because, why would you be with a woman? And, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing I don't understand about these concepts. Like, you think somebody's colorist, they're being with you because they don't like black skin? Like, it don't make no sense. Because a compliment should always center the receiver. It's not you about them. It's about them. So if they're not okay with being referred to as a candy item, the only response they should get is, okay, sorry, won't do it again. Like, why are people so entitled? And again, like, it's like, why is this your business? Like, if a man calls his woman, anything that she and him, and I'm not saying that, like I said, like, if they agree to it, then who cares? But again, it's like, you can't speak for every dark-skinned woman. You're not even a dark-skinned woman. Because, you're not even dark. Like, it's like, even if you were a dark-skinned woman, you couldn't speak for every dark-skinned woman. You know what I mean? I'll go into that a little later. The concept of consent also be kicking people's ass, because even if a dark-skinned woman calls herself chocolate, doesn't mean she has to be okay with other people calling her that. I tell you, man, it's like, ugh. Past me. Like I'm telling you, y'all see a woman, and it's not even based on her looks. Like I said, even if she was good looking, right? Of course, it's like the sexual harassment thing. I don't know if y'all know about this, but the way how sexual harassment works is that if you are not attractive, you are being sexually harassing. If you say basically if you say, hey, you looking good, right? And you fugly, you're sexually harassing somebody, right? If you're an attractive man or an attractive woman and you say, hey, you're looking good, it's a compliment. You know what I'm like damn, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, I'm not gonna say. I mean, this is gonna sound a little weird. Me talking about all this colorism stuff. Not colorism stuff. This mixed stuff. But I remember one time, Angela Davis told me I had nice hair. You know what I mean? And I know some people might be like, well, Angela Davis is a mulatto or something. I don't know if she is or not. I don't really know. I mean, she kind of looked a little different when she was younger, so I ain't gonna hold y'all if y'all think so. But you know, Angela Davis telling you got nice hair, you know, is like a compliment. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Why? Because she's Angela Davis. She's like world famous for her afro. You know what I'm saying? If it was her hair or not, I don't know. Some people said that people in the 60s was using wigs that look like afros, but all the same, if Angela Davis says you got nice hair, it's a compliment. Now, if a white person tells me I got nice hair, it's like, yeah, well, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, yo, why are you looking at my hair or some shit? I don't know. I'm not gonna say that real talk, but I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, yeah, you know, really, it's all about the thing. And of course, I mean, back then I was kind of like, Angela Davis said that, you know. Now I'm kind of like, whatever. Although it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's not that bad to get a compliment from Angela Davis. Although she is like I didn't know much about it back then. But anyway, yeah, like I said, this woman just randomly. Now this one I said most likely fake. So this is probably a fake video. But you know, it says go back to looking through social media. Okay, so I don't know if this is fake or not. I mean, it probably is fake. I don't know, but check this out. I just wanted to show y'all. This is like, again, this is the enemies within. And I want you to understand, this is a past me. The woman that this man is with is a past me. And the woman who likes this sort of entertainment is a past me. Okay, so it says that boy was ready for all the smoke. So basically, I don't know if y'all caught it, but earlier in the video, there's this person over here, right? She's going to set a fire to, I don't know, maybe popcorn or something like that. But it's going to go off to this guy who's sleeping. Now, it could be fake. It's very likely fake. Why do I say it's fake? Because you have all the props already here. You know, you have the firearm, you have the anklet on his, the police, I can't remember what it's called, but he has an anklet on his, like a monitor on his leg, on his foot. And then, of course, he's like sleeping with a mask on or something like that. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But what I'm saying is this individual, they post this kind of video, they laugh at this kind of video, they like this kind of video. It's a pass me.
Why her goof ass wanna play on my kids, bro? Why the fuck is you popping fireworks?
It's probably fireworks.
Why her goof ass wanna play on my kids, bro? Why the fuck is you popping fireworks?
Yeah, so anyway, so what I want to say is this. So, I mean, look, it could be real. I'm more of the side that it is real. People are just kind of looking at it like, why does he have a mask? Like the firearm under the bed, that's normal, you know? But again, here's the issue. If it is real, what happens is this. If you look, he has this thing on this monitor on his thing. So now he's on camera with this and a firearm. And I'm suspecting that this also means that he shouldn't have a firearm, you know? So if it is real, right, this video being uploaded makes it so that, well, now he's likely to face some time, right? Why I say this is because if it is real, this woman is definite past me. Okay? I'm just giving you guys advice. This woman is just a definite pass me, right? Now, if it isn't real, she's still a pass me. Because it's like, what kind of a joke is this? Because now, all right, there's this thing called, like I said, there's this dude named, so back when I was studying race a long time ago, Lero asked if I have locks. Yeah, Lero, it depends on what you call locks, honestly. But I got see, that's what I'm saying. Like I for a long time I wouldn't even describe what I look like. But I already have like videos of me all over the place. So how would I say my locks are? There was a word for them. It's the locks nobody likes. What do they call them? Freeform locks. Yeah, freeform locks. So they're not real locks. Like nobody's done them. But I mean, I don't know. You ain't never seen a video of me? Like I even got my picture on Twitter. Oh, it's actually right here. Like I got Twitter right here, where it's right. I'm just snitching on myself. But yeah. So the thing with freeform locks is that that's also like a handful of people have it. You know. But yeah, you see that's So it's like when your hair naturally locks up. So the reason why I originally grew my hair was because I didn't even know that your hair naturally locked up. But yeah, so my hair is like that. Apparently, a lot of the original enslaved Africans, when they Nati dreads, yeah. I mean, I know people call it Nati, but they call it hair Nati. Period. But yeah. So I guess in the West they call them freeform. But yeah. So yeah. So the original Africans who survived that trip would have had, I guess maybe shorter Nati. The shorter Nati, I like that. I like that look. Like that's my favorite look. But it is what it is, right? Because if he would have smoked her, the community would be making a T-shirt and GoFundMe. Too much playing and nice hair, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to get hair like you though, sis. But I can't afford it. I tell you, I'm not. She thinking I'm bougie. Nah, I'm low maintenance, man. I'm one of them. Eat out of a can of beans. You know what I'm saying? I'm low maintenance. Like this hair, like I ain't combed my hair in shit. Like one time, in fact, if Gnostic is here, you gonna remember this. He could probably remember this. One time I was on I was on Reddit and I was like, hey, what do you guys use? Like, what do you guys put in your hair to like comb it or something like that? And they were like, how long are you pretending to be black? Because ain't no way nobody know what to put in their hair to comb it. And I actually might have been something else to do. But like, I might have been like something else. But yeah, it was like, ain't no way. And it's like, nah, I'm not pretending. I haven't combed my hair and freaking, shit, it looks like it's going on. Well, it's almost 20 years now. Shit. I tell you, back in high school, they used to make fun of me and say I ain't comb my hair. And then I just stopped combing my hair. Because I was combing my hair every day. That shit hurt. But yeah, I just like F it, Because the freeform, I like freeform. Yeah, Lero, when I said I like you, I'm trying to get like you. Yeah, Lero, I saw your pictures. You got some nice locks. How you don't know I got locks though? It's like on my YouTube. It's on my Twitter. All right. Anyway, what are we talking about? Yeah, most likely fake. So I don't know if it's fake or not. It looked real. It looked realistic. Like he really did just wake up out of his sleep, kind of erratic, but it is what it is, right? But yeah, like I said, this kind of stuff, that's a pass me. The thing with partnership or relationships is that these people should not be stressing you. These people should not be making fun of you. These people should not make you uncomfortable. And yeah, you see how I said uncomfortable. That's apparently that's the Caribbean way. I said uncomfortable. Anyway, or vegetable. Anyway, so yeah, but that's it. Let me say that. So most likely fake, but just look at a woman's social media and just like let that decide how serious you're gonna be with her. Just let that decide how serious you're gonna be with her. That's a whole past me. So this one's there's a private Discord on white fetishism. So this is actually really important. I want y'all to understand this from a historical perspective. So usually I kind of slow down on showing you guys these quotes. I like the quotes, but it is what it is. Let's see if I can find you this thing though. So this is my website. You guys know. Website from a long time ago. These are my collected quotations. I stopped collecting quotations, but back in 2012, and I add on a couple of times, but back in 2012 I had like a long collection, and this collection is mostly based off of some like I said, some sister or African American elder, if you will. She was telling me, like she gave me a book that really really talked about like African American quotes in particular, or like African quotes in general, but African American quotes in particular, and it really like gives me a deeper appreciation, you know, for our ancestors here in the United States. Now, of course, you know, there's a problem with that too. There's a problem with that because again, you get this American bias that you then have to like get over, right? But yeah, I mean, like it was really like I really appreciate the sister for that, or the elder for that. These are actually Martin Delaney quotes. They're all pretty good. Most of them are from Blake's and the Huts of America. This one's actually about relationships, so I'll read it to y'all quickly. The consummation of conjugal union is the best security for political relations, and he who is incapable of negotiating to promote his own personal requirements might not be trustworthy as the agent of another's interest. And the fitness for individuals for positions of public import may not be misjudged by their doings in the private affairs of life. You know, there's this brother who did tell me, hey, you know, a guy who's not married, I don't even trust him. You know what I mean? Like, if a man's not even married, I don't even trust him for no political appointment. Or maybe even, like, financial appointment. I don't even know. But, like, basically, Martin Delaney, I don't know if he was saying it as, like, he kind of was saying the same thing, you know? But basically, like, how you treat people in your private life, or your private affairs, particularly in your bedroom affairs, right? Or the people, yeah, how you treat that, how you look at that aspect really does weigh on how you can navigate, you know, public interest. You know what I mean? This quote actually reminds me of that general in America who, a white boy who lost his job because of whatever. But there's also a quote here about this black woman. Oh, I guess it's not here. Yeah, I guess it's probably my other quote. So basically, what happens is this. I also, why can't I go back? That's mad random. Like, I'm pretty sure I clicked onto this page, but okay. Let's go back to the newsletter. So Martin Delaney, Blake. So of course, this quote is also in the book, the Pro-Black Compendium. By the way, look at this. This is part 1 of Martin Delaney's Blake of the Huts of America with notes. I put the whole part 1 here because it's free on the line. These are the notes, and I think I linked. Yeah, so you go to the different pages, you can see the different chapters. But then chapter 2 is also amazing, but because I couldn't type it all out, you know, because it's not freely available. Chapter 2, or part 2. I decided to just put some quotes here. So the sister's going to talk about protection, I think. Let's see. Yo, why can't I type? Let's see. Protect. Let's see if I can find it. So basically, Martin Delaney's going to give this. Yeah, here. So this is Martin Delaney. He's doing a fake conversation, right? And I had to quote it. Let's see. Okay, so he says, Madame Montego, your gospel talking is very good, replied Gondolier. But the same book tells me whatsoever. Wait, let me see if I could. All right, so basically, this is why I like fiction. This is why I really encourage you guys to get my Zubiri and the Maroons of Ma'ah. If you see the similarity between Blake's or the Hearts of America and Zubiri and the Maroons of Ma'ah, you'll understand. But like one of the things that's powerful about fiction is that you can set up fake debates, right? And if you make all of your characters intelligent, you can then have intelligent debates, right? And really, really drive your point home, you know? And that's something that, you know, we don't really usually see, you know? And actually, I'll be honest with you, that's part of the reason why some people might like Star Trek, I guess. Because, like, they do have intelligent debates. Or even, like, Star Wars or whatever. Like, a lot of times, white folk will set up fiction where they have intelligent debates on political systems, you know? So, like, I think in Star Wars, you know, the guy Anakin is like, hey, there's a good reason for fascism sometimes, and democracy doesn't work, you know? And he makes a good argument for it, right? And the same with Star Trek. Like I said, there was this argument for I want to say political sovereignty, you know? And I thought that was a really interesting debate. And so here's going to be a debate about the situation for real for black folk in America, or black folk in the Western world, right? Where essentially, you know, who the men are like essentially the white man is the man. You know, like we even say the man, right? Kind of like what Francis Cresswell will tell you. We call them the man, and then we say that we're going back to the crib. And or some other stupid thing that, you know, we apparently say, right? But anyway, so it says, thank you for your advice, madam, for the advice. I won't. All honor and praise be to whatever. But we have a race of devils to deal with that would be making angels swear. Educated devils that's capable of everything hellish under the name of religion, law, politics, social regulations, and the higher civilization. So that the helpless victims be the black race. Curse them. I hate them. Let me into the streets and give me but half a chance, and I'll unjoint them. Faster than ever, I did a roast pig for the palace dinner table. So Gondolier is the chef. And so then Madame Montego says, yes, Gondolier, I know your desires, but we must be prudent and use no rashness at such a time as this especially. He that killeth with the sword will be slain with the sword. Remember, admonished Madame Montego. So obviously she's on the Bible. Madame Montego, your gospel talking is very good, replied Gondolier. But the same book tells me, whatsoever sheds man's blood shall his blood be shed. And they shed the blood of our brother 2 days ago by dashing him on the pavement, and the blood of our sister here today by a horsewhip. I would like to shed theirs with a knife, replied he. We must not exasperate, not even aggravate the whites, Senor Gondolier, remarked Madame Barbosa, as we must guard against making bad worse, right? So that's all logical. And then Ambrosina says, I wish I was a man. I'd lay the city in ashes this night, so I would, retorted Ambrosina. Stop, my child, admonished the mother. If you were a man suited to such an undertaking, you'd have better sense than to attempt it in an improper time, right? So, you know, basically she's saying, you know, get the timing. I think that's Madame Montego possibly, right? And so she goes, yes, yes, yes. No, somebody else says, yes, 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 my child. You must think of these things and not desire that which would only precipitate us into more trouble. You know, again, everybody's scared, added Madame Blackish. One thing I do know, if our men do not, and this is it, this is the very important thing. I think this is the one that's inside the Pro-Black Companion, right? One thing I do know, if our men do not decide on something in our favor, they will soon be called to look upon us in a state of concubinage. For such treatment as this, and remember, I want to give you guys context. This is Martin Delaney writing. This is not a real woman. It's not, you know, nobody's here is real. It's just Martin Delaney. So in the Pro-Black Companion, I was just going to say Martin Delaney. But in his book, he writes out arguments and things. And I'm telling you, this is the powerful way of writing. This is why I did it. Okay? So again, I'm going to encourage you, get this book. I encourage you guys to read these books anyway. Read this book. Read the other book Zubiri is based off of. And read Zubiri. Okay? Read the 3 books. Plagues from the Huts of America, from Man to Superman, or from Superman to Man, and then Zubiri and the Moons of Ra. But let's just finish this with. It says, one thing I do know, if our men do not decide on something in our favor, they will soon be called to look upon us in a state of concubinage. All right. Sorry, I want to interrupt again. I want to. Martin Delaney is saying this. Now, again, when I say Martin Delaney is saying this, this means that he's saying this during the enslavement of African people. He's saying this in 1850. Okay? He's not saying this in 2022 or whatever. He's saying this in 1850. The slavery didn't even end yet. And he's writing this in 1850, which is like, you know, come on, like this guy, like in a newspaper no less, like a serial, like every week he's putting this out. So yeah, this guy was like, he was the guy. But anyway, one thing I do know, if our men do not decide on something in our favor, they will soon be called to look upon us in a state of concubinage. For such treatment as this will force every weak-minded woman to place herself under the care of those who are able to protect them from personal abuse. It's very important. Now, if they have no men of their associations who can, they must find those who will. Oh my, the thought is enough to drive me distracted. I'll destroy myself first, said Ambrosina, startling every person present. You speak rationally, my child, regarding yourself. That is just what white men desire to do. drive colored women as a necessity to seek their protection that they may become the subjects of their lusts. Do you die first before thinking of such a thing, and let what might come before yielding to such degradation as that I would be one of the first to aid in laying the city in ashes, replied the mother. What say you to this, general? Exclaimed Gondolier, pointing at the girl, who renewed her lamentation with those of her mother, as Montego, who, hearing of the circumstance, had hastened to the mansion and just entered the room. Okay, let's just finish it. I guess it's my last quote, too. By yonder blue heavens, I'll avenge this outrage, said Montego, embracing the mother and daughter as they sat wailing. I think that there will be some hope. My lot is cast with that of my race, and whether for weal or woe, exclaimed Avicenna, bright in countenance, when Gondolier, rejoicing as he left the room to spread among the blacks an authentic statement of the outrage. Woe be unto those devils of whites, I say. Anyway, so... Oh, look, no comments. Cool. All right. But anyway, and yeah, see, I posted this stuff December 27, 2012. That was like 10 years ago. Well, almost 10 years. 9 years ago. But, yeah. So... You see this. Now, that's the context I'm giving you this quote. I know it was a little long, a little lengthy. But, Martin Delaney's also one of those, ancestors who really understood a lot. And, he's really one of those admirable individuals. And he was talking about repatriation up until Civil War started. And then he was like, you know what? We actually could fight for our liberty here. So that was... But then here's the thing, though. If you look in the Book of Power, right? I want you guys to know that if you look in the Book of Power, you're going to see a Martin Delaney discussion that, is actually very rarely recorded. So, there's, one reference to it online, and it's, I don't think it's even, it's unpublished. So, basically, I published it, right? But anyway, basically, there's a white spy who's spying on Martin Delaney, talking to Africans who were liberated. And he's like, yeah, we don't agree with any of these policies he's talking. But what's interesting that he said the only protection that you're going to have is if you keep these soldiers. After the Civil War, you had 200,000 soldiers or something like that, or 20,000 soldiers. It's if you keep those 20,000 soldiers, you'll be free. But of course, if anybody is paying attention, we did not keep those 20,000 soldiers. So that's another thing. So let's see. So this is Afro Elite, and again, I almost want to put them in the BAN section, but these are past me's, obviously. I mean, it's like you already know the past me's. But he says, I found the divester whom clip this belongs to, divested zealot. They said they have a whole Discord where they mock the murder of black men. They don't just do this for clickbait. They are real enemies to black society. Shout out to Molly Warren for getting me hip to this clip. And just they said this is the banner of her YouTube channel. The banner of her YouTube channel, I guess, I'm guessing a black woman, and I'm guessing a black man. But the black man is hung, and the black woman is on a slide. Somebody asked, and the reason why I was almost put him into BAN, although I kind of like this or whatever, but they were asked if he reported it. If he reported this outrage, and she was like, they said, is this her? That's her YouTube. She doesn't have a Twitter. Okay, they have her thing. Let me see. Well, basically they said, did you report it? And he's like, yes, I did. Look at this. People like, Zakia, Dr. TJC, look at this. Anyway. But yeah. So anyway, let me play this audio for you guys.
I was wondering why no one thought to say and voice their opinion that when I look at these white men, they are the epitome of masculine, and watching some of these police officers manhandle these black men in the street is very attractive, and it's a turn on, and I'm wondering, does anybody else feel like that?
Hold on.
Yes, Lord.
Y'all off the chain, okay? Y'all are off the proverbial chain.
That's Discord talk.
I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
I was like, why has nobody said that? Because I'm like, that's masculine. You talk about masculine.
We say that all the time in Discord, Tanasia.
You say that for the back.
Yeah, you have to save that one for the back room when we got the door closed. I can't with y'all.
We use the hard R for long.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about, we say the hard R so hard, it sounds like we growling back there around this bitch.
Oh, Tanasia, you got to come back there with us.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys caught the last joke, or if you want to say joke. I mean, because I know a lot of people were just outraged to the point where they were like, what? I mean, again, I'm not outraged personally, but Because again, like I said, Martin Delany outlined this in 1850. It's not like, you know, like you can't be surprised if 150 years later, you know, this thing that he was warned about 150 years ago comes, like it has been in fruition for the longest. But anyway, why I say, oh yeah, the last joke though, if you will, is something like we say the hard R, and so that's gonna come into the conversation a little later. But you know, the hard R basically means they don't even say, you know, like it's how they use the N word, right? They use like the real N word, you know what I mean? If you will. And the thing is that like I said, black folk are so dumb with that N word that it's like I don't even like at this point I don't even care. Let me see this. But here's the thing too. Look at this right here. So it might be this one because this is the same user. Where it's like, yeah. So somebody says, "Did you report it?" Yes. You know. So again, like, you know, even if you can say, "Hey," but their opinion is wrong about black men not being as masculine, not as manly, as not as handling their own shit. The fact that you go and tell this white boy, right? It's like, well, what do you want? You know? Martin Delany said it. This is why I really think, you know, we have to be serious about this nationalist policy, right? But Martin Delany tells you, hey, look, if our men do not decide to do something in our favor, they will soon be called to look upon us in a state of concubinage, for such treatment as this will force every weak-minded woman to place herself under the care of those who can be able to protect them from personal abuse. If you can't even protect yourself from personal abuse, if you have to go and ask this white man to protect you from personal abuse, then why wouldn't a black woman? Like, why would she go to you for her protection if you're going to this white boy for your protection? And that's really at the core of it. So, I mean, I might, you know, usually I don't, obviously I don't agree with the pass me's. I think that's a pass me. I think that's, you know, do not go for that kind of thing, right? Obviously. But at the same time, we have to understand that on a relationship level, right? A woman seeks the protection of her partner. You know what I mean? Like a woman, like you like I said, you know, one of the things I break down in my books all the time, even like I said, even Zubiri. In Zubiri, we talk about the man is the primary protector and the secondary healer. And the woman is the primary healer and the secondary protector, right? So as to say that when you're in a relationship, a woman wants to feel protected, like you will protect her, okay? And a man wants to feel like you will heal him. You know, you will make him feel better from after a rough evening or a rough day. You will soothe him, you know, physically and, you know, obviously nutritionally, but you will keep, you know, like a man wants a woman who would, you know, keep him healthy in a sense, whether that means help him around the house, you know, cook him a nice meal, as well as, you know, hold it down in the sack. You know what I'm saying? And the same with a man, like a woman. She wants a man who's protected. Now, of course, you know, she might want some of the food. She might want some of the cleaning. She wants some of, you know, again, like I said, the man is a secondary healer, right? But, you know, she also wants a man who, you know, if any, like who can keep her safe. You know? This is what the housewife situation is about. I'll be honest with you. One of the things about a housewife situation is this. She don't got to go out and work. Right, which means that now she's financially safe, which is good. But also, she don't have to deal with the stress and pressures of co-workers if she don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, she could go out and, you know, run a little stall somewhere, right? But you know, if she's like, I'm having a bad day, I don't want to go to the stall. He's like, I don't give a shit. You know, you just going to the stall for a social life. That's it. If you don't want to socialize today, I'm good with you. I'm good with that. This is like, and the thing is, this is like basic psychology. I'm not even going to just say human psychology. This is basic psychology. Animal psychology. Animal instinct. And I mean, obviously, you know, if it's new to you, it's because nobody cares about teaching you psychology. or nobody else cares about teaching you psychology. If it's new to you, nobody else cares. I care, but nobody else does, right? Because if you ain't never heard it, then why would you say somebody else cared, right? This is what it is. And I want black men to understand that as much as you might dislike this narrative coming from black women, to a large extent, it comes back to one or two things. One, you're another man's nation. When you're another man's nation, then the other man is the protector, is the primary protector. Okay? And a lot of that, you'll see that a lot of that among your people. He's the one that can protect your woman, whether it's financially, whether it's socially, whether it's whatever. If she has a problem at the job, because now she's at the job because you don't got no money. If she's a problem with the job, she goes to the white HR representative or whatever. She goes to the manager, the white manager, all that kind of stuff. You can't do shit for her. And if that's the case, yeah. Like she not with it anymore. She not 100% with you. And I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't some brothers who try to do that. I remember there's this video circulating on the internet. This brother went to the job to fight some other brother because I guess he might have said something untoward to his lady, and then he got his butt kicked. So he might have lost. Everybody talking about he might have lost that relationship. But they're like the work husband done kicked the husband's ass, right? But I mean, like that's a thing. I'm telling you, that's a thing. That we really have to put our minds together. Because the thing is this: if you're in a black nation, right? Even if it's the police are the ones protecting and all that kind of stuff. Even if it were that, and it wasn't the husband primarily, right? It's a little bit better because at the same time, she's not looking at white folk as protectors. She's looking at black folk as protectors, and that includes you. But again, like the issue with black folk, particularly in America, is that especially when we were younger, I mean to this day still, but all of the positions of authority were white. And that tells you something. That there's a subconscious message in that. And you might not see it anymore. But when you were younger and the other young people, they see it. And the thing is that not everybody grows out of it. So if you stop a 14-year-old right now and you ask her, like for instance, I tell you, one time I stopped this 14-year-old and she was like, hey, the Egyptians are these Arabs. So she thinks the Egyptians are Arabs. So she thinks they made the pyramids and all that kind of stuff. Which is like, I mean, I know like that's just like a Htp question, a Htp concern, if you will, right? Either way, reason why I point that out is just to tell you that, you have to engage, like the youth are seeing something. They're like, hey, the pyramid builders are selling us, confectionery or whatever, right? They're selling us stationery, whatever you call it, right? Chocolate, if you will, right? Or fried chicken or whatever, right? The pyramid builders are doing that, and now you might be like, well, why is that important? Why do we care if they think those people are the pyramid builders? It's because they don't think you built anything. That's why. They don't think you've built anything or you can build anything. And these are black youth who do not think their people have done anything ever. That's why it's important. You understand? That's why it's important. Because if you didn't do the pyramids, right? If they don't think you did the pyramids, they don't think you had, any, like you might be like, well, why are you talking about the pyramids when we had, Ghana, we had ancient Ghana, and we had dark ticket, and we had this. Yeah, okay. If they don't think you did the pyramids, they don't know about that stuff. Why would they know about that? If they don't know about Egypt, why would they know about dark ticket? Some of y'all scratching y'all heads like, what's dark ticket? Can you spell it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would some 14-year-old know about dark ticket? Anyway, let me see if these comments. Naughty Dreads, Lero says, because if we had smoked, if he had smoked, oh yeah, I said that one. I got logs. You found Kofi says, you found the divestors. Divested Zila is mentally ill. KW.7 says, Mr. Touchable says, wow. Kofi says, yes, Lord, LOL. Lero says, nah, they really sick. I wonder if they think it was masculine and sexy for the little black girls ran over by cop cars and shot dead in their beds by these same white men. Dark? And I don't mean dark in a good way. Lero, that was random. All right. I mean, I should say dark is a good way, but still, like, that was a little bit. Like, I wouldn't try to flip it. You know what I'm saying? She's like, what about that little girl who died? You're like, Lero, aren't you a lady? Anyway, Get Down says, one of those divestors was exposed when her camera flipped. They are not select females, to say the least. So good riddance to bad rubbish. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, like, some people think they're sometimes white men, you know? But it is what it is. Like, if you can even get one black person to agree with you, you did a good thing, you know, as a white person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, from the white perspective. Kofi says, it's true. White folks can tell the youth anything and they believe. Yeah, of course, man. Anything. Like how many people, black folk to this day think this is the land of the free. It don't make no damn sense. It don't make no sense to me. But I'm telling you, black adults think this is the land of the free. Yeah, it's not even like this white boy can convince you of anything, man. 2 days ago, you like I said, 3 weeks ago, you didn't know a month ago, you didn't know where Ukraine was. Now you represented its flag. A month ago, you couldn't tell which flag it is. You know? Now it's like your personal flag. You know? It's a little wild out here. But all right, I think that was all the pass me's. Let's see if there was alphabet. Oh yeah, this is the reverse colorism, like I said. So I mean, this is an example of a woman who's clearly not mulatto. I'm not going to say I'm going to clearly not black, but I'm going to say that black folk, we're just weird in America to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know she's not black, but this is it, right? Every time you see this shit, it's just a little funny. This is the quote unquote biracial in question, right? So the biracial in question, she goes, look, I'll say N-word whenever I want. I am biracial. It's my right. And so here's the issue. The thing I don't like about this quote unquote reverse colorism, if you will, is this, right? Okay, she's following me on Visibly Black. And I ain't gonna hold you. She does look like a attractive lady, so I'm not gonna can't hate on her for that. You know what I mean? And she does have a wonderful complexion, so I ain't gonna hate on her for that. Of course, y'all see Jamaican Maroons here. He says, he calls out some dude and says that's his baby mama. Yeah, did I block him? Yeah, boy. Now, like I said, some people are just always in the divester shit, and I just I don't want to see that shit all the time. Anyway. So yeah, Lero says, I'm a woman that does not support all women. Yeah, I know, but I mean, I wouldn't make fun of a black girl dying, is what I'm saying. Kofi says, I don't think that is a real account. I don't think that's a real account. Okay, maybe. All right, that makes a lot more sense. Yo, Kofi on that intel, man. I like that. Shout out to Kofi. Anyway, so why do I say this? Here's what I want to say about this, though. It's first off, the biracial in question, what I'm trying to say is this. Realistically speaking, no black person, right? And I mean black person, not even just biracial, should be using the N-word, right? However, if you were to say, well, biracials can say it just if they're a certain level of melanin, right? That's where it just doesn't make any more sense, right? The reality is this. One is that, first off, you shouldn't treat biracials like black folk, period. So it shouldn't be based off of, well, the biracial doesn't look black enough, ergo, this biracial looks black enough, so let's treat them like they're black, which is the implication here, right? The biracial in question means that, well, the reason why this biracial shouldn't say it is because they are, they don't fit the biracial look that we want. Not so much because they're biracial. And that's really what I'm getting at here, right? It's that, realistically speaking, your problem with biracial people should not be that they are lighter than you, as much as the fact that they are loyal to two different human groups. You know, that they have mixed loyalties, literally. You know, mixed bloodlines and mixed loyalties. That's what it should be about. And the thing is that with us as a community, what we tend to do, or black folk tend to do, is that, and look at this. I don't know. I see. This sister was. I said she was pretty-ish. Pretty. Yeah, she's pretty. But look at this. They. That just made it like no. Like at this point, it's like shit. I don't even know if it's a dude or not now. Like what? How are you a they? What does that mean? Now I don't feel comfortable even saying shit. Like I said, like pretty-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know. Now it just sounds weird. Like is it a dude or something? Like why is it a they? You know? Anyway. But yeah. So that's really my issue here. Now I'm gonna further that. I'm gonna double down on that by giving y'all two other links to let y'all see what I'm talking about in regard to the confusion in America. Right. So here's another one. Right. This is I don't know. It sounds like a black person. Yeah. Semi-LGBT black. So it was Alphabet Squad. So I did put this in the Alphabet Squad section because I think interracialists and biracialists are in Alphabet anyway. They belong on the alphabet. But semi-LGBT black. I don't get why people are surprised about Mariah possibly being on a rap song. Do y'all know who Mariah Carey is? Now, Mariah Carey, if y'all will, this whole account is based off of lusting after Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, this was one of those people that when I was younger, in fact, one of my family members corrected me and said she was black. Now I'm like, wow, why are we watching this white girl on BET or something like that? That's what I was saying back when I was a youngin'. Like, it didn't make no sense to me. I couldn't connect the dots. Why is this white girl on BET? I thought this was only for black folk. I thought they only represented black entertainers, right? And then they were like, oh no, Mariah Carey is black. This is a black woman. You understand? And the thing is, the reason why you say this, again, you go back to the thing. She's basically a quadroon. If you look at her dad, right? Her dad looks like he's mixed, but in America, he would pass as white, as black. And that's an issue right there. Let me see the comments. Hold on a second. Lara says, I didn't make fun of her. Don't do that. Wait, did you? I don't know. You said, I wonder if they think it was masculine and sexy for the little black girls ran over by cop car. Yeah, I'm saying I wouldn't, I just wouldn't use I don't know. It's kind of like that. I mean, I don't know. It's up to you, but usually I just let that be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even bring it up. I don't know. It's just weird. I wouldn't bring it up. I mean, I guess you didn't make fun of them. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. But it's just like, I wouldn't, speak over the dead like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It could be, I'm not saying I was raised a Christian because I wasn't. But I just know that people just, I don't know. A lot of us just don't do that. I don't know. I wouldn't, personally. I didn't make fun of her. Yeah, so you didn't do that. So I'll take that back. My fault. I don't want it to be a thing. Lero says, we can pray to Christ but can't say the N-word. I won't do the tit for tat, but I'm just saying. Who prays to Christ? Where you get this we stuff? Shit, I ain't know Lero French, right? Because shit, I don't know why there's no pray to Christ thing. I'm gonna cut that word out though. Yeah, cut out the word Christ, definitely. Afro Jab says shouldn't be using the N-word at all. Yeah, I mean it don't make no sense. Like I said, at one time I was his brother was like, yeah, I got you, and he said the N-word to me. I mean, it's not like you could use it as a reference, if that's what they said, then that's what they said. Like you quoted somebody, right? But anyway, he said, and I said, look, man, he used the word, he used it, but then he said it about me, and I was like, hey, man, you shouldn't call us, you shouldn't use I don't want you to call me that word, right? And I said, you got to understand that word is attached to slavery, and and I'm going to ask you a question. I asked him a question. I said, if you were on an island, right, and you were paid $1,000 a day, would that be a good island? It's like, yeah, it sounds like a good island, right? If you were there to pay for $1,000, you're getting paid $1,000 a day to be on this island, would that be a good arrangement? He's like, yeah, it sounds like a good arrangement. Now I said, what if the price of bread was $1,500? Would it still be a good arrangement? Right? And he's like, well, no, because, if everything is proportional to bread, let's say, right, then obviously that $1,000 a day no longer sounds like a lot of money, right? And so I said, yeah, see, when somebody else controls the price of your goods, right? They control you. You understand? You know, and I put out this lady named Maria. Speaking of the word Christ, Maria Carolina de Jesus or whatever, or Jesus or whatever. She said, actually, we are slaves to the cost of living. So basically, if somebody else is controlling your cost of living, right, then essentially they pretty much enslaved you, because they're now paying you, especially if they're paying you. They're controlling they control the cost of living, and they're controlling your wages, if you will, right? When they do both of those, right, you are beholden to them. Your labor is beholden to them. Absolutely. And so I said, you don't want to use that word that attaches, you know, because slavery technically wouldn't have ended then, if you're still more or less working for free, right? You just have the money that you give right back to the people who are controlling the prices. You understand? Controlling your wages and the prices. So you're technically independently working, but you're technically also not, right? And so the dude was like, okay, yes. I think he said, yes, sir. I'm like, whoa, don't call me sir now. You know, they're like, I just didn't want you to call me an N-word, you know, but I had a little laugh at his expense. Anyway, let me see the comments, though. I'm going to cut that word out, though. Shouldn't be using the N-word at all. Mariah didn't even accept black people at first. Her dad mixed, yeah. Mariah looks Puerto Rican. Yeah, Mariah is basically a white person from a traditional African perspective. She is. She would have to call on a bunch of European ancestors. Yeah, I mean, Mariah Carey, like I said, like, but this is the thing, though. This is a black people themselves go ham for Mariah Carey. And it's just like this. Look, I want to say this. You're going to be like, oh, okay. Check this out. Now, this is where it's like there's no limit to black folks' ridiculousness. Okay? Because here's this guy. This is a whole disheveled... So KFC using the CIA plant Jack Harlow to get black women to eat their chicken again, right? Now, this is a whole disheveled white boy. Okay? And this is the comments right here. This is the black women. These are the black women. And this is going to be a little bit adult. So, you know, tell your kids to go use the bathroom or something, right? If your kids, I don't know why your kids be listening to me right now. But anyway, I'm running to KFC right now. This is a black woman. Not even a bad looking black woman either, right? And then OMG to KFC right now to look at your face and get your tenders if you know what I mean, right? And I don't know, you know, you guys could imagine this. Now, this is a disheveled
three
white
tenders,
boy.
classic ranch, KFC sauce, spicy chicken sandwich, secret.
So, like, when I say disheveled white boy, what I mean is this. Sometimes people make fun of, all I got to say is the words of Cardi B. I don't even want to play this. I'm not even going. But you already know, like, if you're a mouth reader, me, when I get to KFC, okay, this is the white lady, though, so it's okay. Black folk, like, again, like, women, like, so why did I say this? Why is this in this thread, right? The reason why this is in this thread is to say this, that on the one hand, like, we started off with this mulatto sister, right? Who the fuck is this? It's about time for a support group. Okay, not bad. All right, so, first we start off with this white girl, right? Who's like, hey, look, I'm biracial, right? Accept me. I'm biracial, so therefore I can do whatever you black folk do, right? And then black folk are like, yeah, we don't like, no, you ain't biracial, you ain't black, you ain't colored, or whatever. Then you see this Mariah Carey look the same as this same white girl, right? Or maybe a little bit less. I mean, yeah, she looks like a white girl, just a regular white girl, right? And instead of saying, you know, we don't accept Mariah Carey here, right? We accept Mariah Carey here. Same with that other white girl, or mulatto girl or whatever. You know, she goes, this girl is on... I'm not going to sing that. Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys, another one, where it's like, what? And like it's not just America, obviously. You got Sean Paul in... but I don't think Sean Paul even pretends to be black, you know? But black folk just throwing their hat at him. Now, this Jack Harlow character, though, I don't even know who he is. Disheveled white boy. When I say disheveled white boy, what I mean is this. I didn't explain that earlier. Sometimes white people don't care if you are dating a white person, if that white person is disheveled or homely. You know, that's why you see a lot of black men with these fat chicks. Because it's like, white guys are like, yeah, that's not even the quality tip-top white person. You know what I mean? Like, you're not dating the model that we wanted. You're dating our refuse, right? Jack Harlow was one of their refuse. And then you got black folk like you said, you got a black man who's like, oh shit, KFC done hired this guy to get our women. I'm telling you, it's disgraceful because again, you tell this mulatto girl, and rightfully so, hey, you're not black. Makes sense. But then, same demographic is like Alicia Keys, nice. Mariah Carey, nice. Jack Harlow. And I mean, I don't have to tell y'all about Nas defending Gwyneth Paltrow. That's why I don't mess with Nas either. But Nas is like, Gwyneth Paltrow, she's a real N-word. She can say N-word all she wants. Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, Gwyneth Paltrow. See the biracial woman, if she is biracial, if she's not, if she's real, if she's not, I don't know. But a biracial woman saying, yeah, my father was black. Like, Mariah Carey saying my father was black makes a little bit of sense. It makes sense. Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, I don't even know. I can't remember what Gwyneth Paltrow looks like, but I know damn well she's, like, yeah, no. Like, just a big no. Big no on the part of, what's his name? Nas. That's why I don't mess with Nas. Some people like Nas. I don't care for him. Like, ever since then, probably even before that. Like, I really never cared about him, but, let me see if I could actually, I forgot to bring up that video of those mixed kids. So let me see if I could. Well, I don't know. I mean, some white people were saying they're mixed. I don't. Like again, like in America, like I said, they probably wouldn't pass any sort of tribal tests, if you will. They wouldn't pass any tribal tests in Africa, but it really depends on what sort of. And not saying that they wouldn't any, but it really depends on what you guys. I mean, like again, like in America, it's just so confusing.
Black friends.
I think that what we should do as black people, like I said, we have to start being real about our racial integrity, if you will, because like questions like this just come up all the time. But what I will say is that when you look at this video, like not only make your own judgment as to whether these quote unquote black folk are black, but the white folk are white. And that's what's really, when you talk about racial purity, like when you talk about these white folks saying, hey, look, we're not going to allow any of these biracial people to be claimed as white, this is why they do that, And see, when black people do not do that, you get this sort of thing where I think some white person, what the fudge? All right. Some white person was like, yeah, right here. Neither of those black people are black. And so somebody says, so this black woman, I guess, is like, that's the part I'm interested in discussing. Let me see if I could see the comments. Can you define what black means? I wrote about being black, blah, blah, blah. Olga, so a Ukrainian person, I guess. What do you mean? Yeah, so it doesn't really explain it.
Friends do you have at BYU? How many black friends do you have at BYU?
Honestly, none. That's okay. But honestly, I'm kind of awkward and I don't have a lot of friends anyway,
okay,
so.
Thank you.
I have 2 friends that are black at BYU.
I have one.
I don't have any black friends at BYU.
Like again, just pay attention to the white folk and how they are actually really pure, whereas these black folk, I'm not going to say they're impure per se, because again, like at this point in time, you don't even know. I could say this, that there is this black woman from 19 something. I added her in the Book of Power, who's telling us that the original African Americans a lot of them were deep, like jet black. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them were a deep black color. Now, were they all that? No, obviously, right? But a lot of them. And so when you saw somebody with like even a brownish tone, you might suspect them of being a mulatto, but obviously not every brown person is mulatto. But then you go further, and then it's like when you get to the lighter brown, and then even the yellow, it becomes, well, and again, like you could see this in Africa. So it's not to say that, there's only one way to have a yellow or brown complexion. But then, you also like look at the hair, you look at the features, you look at all sorts of stuff. And again, it becomes less crystal clear. You know. Now I'm not of the opinion that I would look at these people and be like, yeah, they're not black. But I mean, some people would. Obviously, this white boy. But obviously it's something else. But then again, like I said, it's the white people here who it's like there's no question.
Same to you.
Unfortunately, I don't either.
I wish I did.
Okay.
I wish I did. I want to be friends with you guys.
We can make that happen.
But you can also see that they kind of look a little weird.
2. What's their names? Yamin and Isaiah. Oh, not Yamin. Okay, cool.
None.
Oh, dang.
One. My roommate.
Well, I actually have quite a few just from like the other athletic teams. I don't know. I can't really count.
Are you an athlete?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. How about you?
I would say similar. Like
You're an athlete too?
we danced together on Cougars.
Ooh! Okay.
Ugh. Anyway, yeah, but you guys kind of see. I mean, like, yeah. The reason I brought that up again is it's because, like, again, like, America's not really clear. Like the lack of control that black folk have. Yo, I need to get some more comrades here. How do I mention no comrades before in like since February? But yeah. So let me see what the comments are like. Anyway, thanks again, fam, for sticking around. I know it's been like I'm kind of losing my voice already. How long have I been recording? Damn. Okay. And y'all know I stand the entire recording, so my feet be like whatever. All right. She should blah blah blah. Andriana Lima, a famous white-looking model from Brazil, did the same thing as Mariah Carey. She saw all that affirmative action and then decided she is Afro-Brazilian. What a farce. Mr. Touchable says he looks homeless. Jack Harlow, disgusting. Kofi says black folk down 10. You already know. Lero says the fact that black people could be lured into a commercial chicken joint, kind of crazy in itself. Black folk kill each other over commercial chicken. It's weird. It's weird. It's like it's just weird. You know, like I don't know how else to put it. It's like weird. You know, and the weird thing is too, it's like the weirdest thing about it is apparently like when I went to Jamaica, the KFC was like packed. It didn't even make any sense to me. I ate the KFC, it wasn't all that. I could see how somebody could say it's better than America, but it really wasn't all that. But again, I'm not like a chicken aficionado or whatever. But yeah, like there's this Boondocks episode that mocks black folk killing each other over new chicken sandwich or whatever. And then black folk, whatever black folk kill each other over chicken sandwiches, say, hey, Boondocks called it. But Boondocks was mirroring an older news story of a black folk killing each other over chicken sandwiches. Like killing it, like getting violent over chicken sandwiches. It's like, it's weird. It's like, it doesn't, like, there's nothing, like, there's no, like, nah, I'm not, like, black people can be lured into a commercial chicken joint. Yeah, I think that's firmly established. I don't even know if that's crazy. I think that's just, like, normal at this point. You know, you say chicken tastes good, and for some reason, you know, like, a large demographic will go to it for some reason. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like me some good chicken, but yeah, no. And the thing is that, like, the funny story is that I thought I never tried Popeye's sandwich, but I remember one time, like, unbeknownst to me, I didn't even know it was like the chicken craze or whatever. I think I did ask, like his mother was gonna drop my son off early, and I was like, I can't put up something for like me to eat or something. I don't know. I think I just asked her to like bring me something. And at the time, that's like what we were doing at the time. We don't do that anymore, I guess. But so she was like, "Hey, it's weird. There's a line at this Popeyes or whatever, right?" Because she only would go through drive-throughs. You know what I mean? Because she's like, "I'm not getting out of the car for whatever," right? You know, she's just one of those people, right? I forgot to mention, like, you know, who's past me, right? But anyway, and that's why I talk about past me, just to let y'all know. But anyway, give you a context. But anyway, so she was like, yeah, she could, this is on the way, she'll get this, right? So she got this chicken sandwich, I ate it, threw it away, whatever, right? And then like a few weeks later, it was like, yo, everybody, this chicken sandwich from Popeyes, oh, and I was like, wait, what? You know, and it's like, for a long time, I was like, I never tried it. But then it like dawned on me that I actually did try it like before the hype. And it was just like, whatever. It was just like like me, I'm on a seafood diet. You know what I mean? I seafood, I eat it. That's it, right? I mean, obviously, some people will be like, ew, Popeyes. But, like I said, I'm not, bougie. I'm low maintenance. You know what I mean? I'm like, just need to pass for the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't die. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go. Let's see. She says, that was a jab to self, low-key, laugh my ass off. I wonder what Letta was talking about. Afrojam says, as long as two white parents aren't exposed like Rachel Dolezal, the old school one-droppers will claim them. Yeah, that was weird about Rachel Dolezal. Like that was a little weird. Brigham Young, that's in Utah. Leto says, that video was so cringe. Why do you care about whites having black friends? Crazy. Yeah, there's only like 20,000 black folk in Utah. Yeah, I know. It's like, how many black friends do you have? Can you be my friend? Like, we'll make that happen. You know? Some weird shit. It's just weird. But I was like, that's not enemy material. I know Kofi put it up earlier, but I was like, that's not really enemy material. Like, it's just a little weird. I mean, I would expect if you surrounded by white folk, you're going to be, like, you're going to take on a little bit of awkwardness, and you're going to want to be a little accepted. Because, like, I mean, like, that's the reality of our situation and our circumstance. I'll talk about that in a minute, actually. Let me just see the comments. There are only like 20,000 black folk. Mariah Carey's father is multiracial and her mother is white. She would be considered quadroon if anything at all. Yeah, and Real Black Gentleman says fried chicken flu. Yeah, that's the thing. Because like what happens in America is that if you're biracial, you're considered black. And so, or you look like a black person. And so suddenly, like, it then becomes the next generation is biracial. You know, it's just weird. Especially if you like fit the bill for biracial. Whereas normally you'd be considered quadroon, you're now considered biracial because, you know, the biracial who looks black is considered black. You know what I'm saying? Like if Mariah Carey's father says the N-word around you, it's like, oh, okay, he's just one of those black folk who say that, you know, which is just weird. But, you know, it is what it is. That's why I said it's like, that's why I'm going to take up that. But yeah, I'll say this. So I think what happened is this. Occasionally, I do some labor, if you will. And I had to do like a video interview or whatever, right? And what happens is that one of the questions I was asked was, what do you think about diversity? You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing right now. Like, what do you think about diversity in the workforce? And so, like, you know, I could be my normal Omni self and be like, yeah, diversity's stupid. You know what I mean? I don't agree with diversity. I wouldn't hire no white folk for nothing, you know? But it's a white firm. You understand? So now that I'm at a white firm interviewing and they asking me what I think about diversity, I gotta be like, oh yeah, it's a good ass thing. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, and of course I started laughing because it's like, what kind of a dumb question are you asking a black person applying for a historically white position? Of course he's gonna say diversity is cool. But of course, you know, you got to word it a certain way. You know, something like if a person is qualified, then they should get the position. But again, you know, that also falls on us as a mentality, you know, and kind of like what white people want to hear as well. But like, realistically speaking, being qualified for a position doesn't mean you should have it. You understand? That's just that quote unquote liberal speak. In order that you can, like, essentially for other people to take positions from the dominant people. You know, and if you're ever the dominant people, you're probably going to push back against that. You know, because even if you want that maximum efficiency, the reality is that when it suddenly becomes, you know, when your own people are kicked out of the situation, right? That's not why you started the business in the first place. You know, when you start a business, you're starting it to help your own people. You know, and you started to make money, but you also decide to help your own people. I think there was actually this Indian guy. He recently got in trouble for that. I'm not sure. I didn't really fact check it, but apparently he like fired a lot of people off of Zoom because it was like a corrupt institution or whatever. And then he hired a bunch of Indians to replace them. Like a new Indian CEO just said, "Yep, a bunch of Indians." Like that's what you're supposed to do. And I mean, I could even go into that a little further, but I'm gonna leave that where it is. So yeah. So I said, I told you so. Show and tell. Oh yeah, this motherfucker. So these are the Nevolutionaries. These are the Nevolutionaries. Let me see. Are there any Pan-Africanists this week? I think if they're not, then yeah, there's only 2 left. Okay, guys. So appreciate y'all for sticking around. This is the Nevolutionaries. Check this out. Tony Lene. She goes, so why is the border wide open, right? So this is Biden.
With regard to food shortage, nothing more to report. With regard to food shortage, yes, we did talk about food shortages. And it's going to be real. The price of these sanctions is not just imposed upon Russia. It's imposed upon an awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well. Nothing more to report. With regard to food...
So she's like, but why is the border wide open, right? So now you might say to yourself, why do I say, I told you so, show and tell? Because this is the on-code brother, apparently. And like I said, these kind of people you should just block right out. But I mean, I actually had trouble finding people this week, you know? It's going to be food shortages, but let's bring in 300,000 Ukrainians. This is what y'all voted for, though. Like, oh my gosh, some of our family and friends fucked up big time, and they refused to admit they were wrong, right? Now, again, this is the issue with us as a human... with a human population. Let me see this one. They letting anybody come in America and goofies out here with no protection, not realizing they're coming to replace natural-born Americans to be free because foreigners run the country. All right, I don't know what that means, but yeah. And let me see what this guy looks like. Like I said, you know, I'm not even gonna say anything. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, nothing, right? But what I'm saying is this. So it's like this is what y'all voted for, though. The reason why I say these are nevolutionaries is because look, people were saying, look, they're not gonna vote. They're not gonna vote, right? And that's fine. Okay, they're not gonna vote because they're revolutionaries or something like that, right? They're not gonna vote because they believe in revolution. They're not going to vote because they are against the state. They don't endorse. They don't support the power of the state. They're not going to vote because they believe that the state is their enemy, and so they would never go waste a nice evening. You know, like during the election day, they're like, hey, it's a Tuesday evening, and I didn't go outside and wait in line. I just stayed home and read a book, right? Watched a video. You know, I did something, right? That's why I say it's show and tell. You know? You show first and then you tell. This person, like if you're such a revolutionary, then you would have stopped America by now. If the reason why you didn't vote in November, right, of 2 years ago, right? The reason why you didn't vote was because you're a revolutionary, right? Or because you don't support this system and you're against the system and all that kind of stuff. 2 years later, right? Like you should have some bodies, like you should have some teardrops under your eyes or something. You know what I'm saying? like something. You should have something to show for what you are saying. Because if all you're saying is, hey, you know what? I'm personally not going to go outside on Tuesday. Like nobody cares. You didn't go outside on Tuesday? That did not stop the 300,000 Ukrainians coming in, or 100,000. That did not stop the food shortage that's coming for you. Like if you're a revolutionary, and you've been a revolutionary for, I'm guessing, a decade now, or even 5 years now, or 7 years, you should have more to show for it than I told you that America was a state with an imperialist agenda. Because everybody and their mama know America's a state with an imperialist agenda. Now, I'm not going to hold y'all. Some people was like, hey, you know what? When you look back at it, Trump, they said Trump did not go into any wars or something like that. I don't know if that's the case. I know he did some damage to other places, but I'm not 100% sure or whatever, right? And maybe, you know, because Trump was buddy-buddy with Russia, maybe Trump would have looked the other way in this Ukrainian situation, which is not that bad. All the same, it's like, you know, not doing anything, right, is really just not doing anything. It's not an I told you so moment. It's really, when you're not doing anything, you're just not doing anything. And it's not that you don't become a leader because you're not doing anything. You're just a bystander. You know? I told you that lava pit was dangerous. No, I told you that water was dangerous. That's why that girl drowned. You know? Like, okay, did you try to save her? You know? like did you Did you like secure the like? Did you build the bridge a little better? Did you secure the foundation for the bridge? Did you put up a sign that, or did you like destroy the bridge and say this bridge is not operable? No, you just said that water look dangerous. You know, or that bridge don't look like it can hold you. All right, no, you didn't say it like you didn't say that bridge. You say I'm not going across the bridge. So I'm like, oh, you just stayed home. You know, I don't know. The point is that you didn't do anything. So it's just like those I told you so's. It's like, you know, it's really not as helpful. Not helpful. It's really not that important as you may think. Because, like, again, like, especially when it comes to America, one, you don't have the reach to reach black folk. Like the one we started with, you know, who was just like straight up just tattletale in a sense, right? Me using kid words, right? That's one thing. But on the other hand, it's like, if black folk don't vote, that doesn't change that, like it doesn't change anything. I mean, maybe possibly one of the white candidates doesn't win and the other white candidate wins. Like, that's all that happens. It's really like it's not revolutionary, you know? It's not revolutionary. Anyway, so let's see. Why are you booing him? He's right. Oh yeah. So so this dude's about to get booed. Oh, this is the last one. I just saw it today. Let me just see what the chat looks like. Let's see. The chat says, "Why do black people police the border? We dying. It's crazy to me." Yeah, exactly. There's 200 million whites. They don't need your vote, to be very honest. Yeah, exactly. Bobby Wright says, "Great show, PvP." So thanks, appreciate it. Real Bad Gentleman says, "Objection makes a poor obstacle. Not voting doesn't really change voters' minds." Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, it's like, you know, like the whole "I told you so," the whole self-righteous doing nothing kind of thing is just dumb. Like, when I say show and tell, what I mean is, like, if you were like, "I told you so," after, you know, like old girl did and like just rolled over people with a car, right? That's like, oh, okay, you told us. You know what I mean? Like, you told us. Like homegirl said she was the best drunk driver. You know, apparently, you know, let's stay on the network. But yeah, you know, like if you're like, hey, you know, I told you. You know what I mean? Like, that's different. Now, if you're just like, "I told you so," I just stayed home. Like, it's like, yeah, that's not a real thing. Like, if I told you I'm a revolutionary and I organized 20,000 black soldiers. Yes, you told us, we didn't listen. You organized 20,000 black soldiers. You know, nice, right? It's show and tell. It's like you first show what you're doing and then you tell, right? But this whole, you know, shit, I stayed in on Tuesday and now look where we are. Like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, what did you do to prevent this? Is the question. Did you do anything to prevent this? Because if you're doing something to prevent this, and this is what happened, then you suck as well. Like, you're garbage. Like, you're garbage, and you're trying to take credit, which is like, makes you more garbage. But anyway, this guy right here is like, "So I hear spoken by poor Kenyans, and the expressway was built for the rich. From there, you can connect the dots." So it's like, why are you booing me? It's right. I'm right? So anyway, so this person says, "Expressway toll stations, wording in English and Chinese. I never understand this behavior. Wapi Kiswahili." Like, why not Kiswahili, I guess? Or what about Kiswahili? I don't know. But, yeah. So this is it. Wapi Kiswahili, right? So this guy actually tells us like an IS is. He says, hey, Swahili is not really, like the expressway was built for rich folk. Like, the Chinese possibly came through and said, we want to develop the infrastructure here in Kenya. And we, you know, the English and so on and so forth, they said, let's develop the infrastructure in Kenya so that these trucks that we are moving, you know, we're moving, you know, commerce through either towards China or towards the Anglophile countries or whatever country, like towards European countries, right? We have to move products through this expressway to the other side of the world, right? We're trading, right? That has nothing to do with the little village people who might drive on the truck or might drive sometimes too. And if they don't speak English, then that's it. Now, some people are arguing, hey, you know, well, Kiswahili is the national language, which is, it has its merit. But again, this guy is saying, what he's saying is really the reality, is that the world, the infrastructure is built for the wealthy, because the wealthy are engaging in trade. So this guy says, I know we're a beggar. We have something to do here. Our agency of the weakest link. Toll stations are basically Asian infrastructure, architecture, copy pasted from toll stations in China. Then you find the Chinese wording on the signs for a country, a region with 0% people who speak the language. It's wrong. So yeah, so like basically the Chinese come through and build something for themselves. And then black folk sit around and complain. Why is it not for me? It's in my country. And it's like, no, we built it for ourselves. We built these roads for, like, a lot of times black folk don't really get, they don't grasp that the people who build it for, like, when you build something, you build it for yourself. Now, I think I did have a comment to this. I guess I'll just look for my comment to this. What the fuck is this? Relatively civilized, relatively European. Palestinian terrorist, Ukrainian hero. You know? Yeah, exactly. They're just gutting these civilians at this point. Like again, like, and the thing is that the thing I like about this sort of propaganda, as you can see, is that by the way, y'all make sure y'all check out the Book of Power. This video is not sponsored by anything, but Book of Power was, you know, is something that I really like y'all to do. And of course, you know, you see the reviews, so make sure you click the link and get yourself a copy. Anyway, so I think, oh yeah, it's me and Lero. I don't know where Lero come from. On that. So yeah, I said, why you booing him? He's right. He's like, look, expressway, blah, blah. It reminds me what my everyday commute on the train. Try reading emergency exits, and they are in Chinese or Espanol at DMU. And it's like they forget whom the user is, and it's annoying if they are Kenyan assets or whatever. And it's like, no, you do. You forget who the user is. You know? Like, you just pay for a train ticket. You just pay for, you know, the toll, like $1 or whatever. They are huge multinational companies who are paying to move products to and from Kenya, right? And that's like huge amounts of money, right? And it's like, yes, of course, if they are employing their own people to do so, they need their people to be able to read these signs. If you want to pay a little dollar to use it, then fine. But they're like huge multinational. It's just like the trouble with us as a people is that we really stopped building things. And then when other people build stuff, we still just kind of like don't even grasp that, like, they're not being built for us. And we seem to think that's a problem. You know? When the problem really is that we're not building things. Like I said, I still don't believe that there's a subway station anywhere in Africa, let alone built by black folk. And even in like black cities, there's not one. So, you know, that is that. But anyway, I believe that's the full podcast. So, like I said, if you guys want to see the links, you can just click on this Google Docs is Google Docs, and you could see it. Other than that, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. That's the show. Real Black Gentleman Kofi says, put a link to your author's page on Amazon so we can see all your books. I think you can click my name now, but sure. Let me see if I could. Let me see if I could just pull up this. It's better to just click the link right here, actually. But yeah, just click on this link in the profile. Go to my profile, and then you got it. Let me see. But like basically, if you click on my name, it's gonna come up with a bunch of YouTube stuff. It's gonna click over YouTube stuff. But anyway, Lero says, have a great Sunday, bro. So yeah, I'll make sure to eat a Sunday, I guess. I'm just messing. All right, fam. That's it. That's the show. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for not being in church. I like that, especially. Although maybe y'all were in church. I don't know. But yeah. Until next week. Shem Yemotep, Anku Ja Seneb Neb. Amen. Ma'at Dua Netcher.